great to be back, but it's your first pre-season session on the 1st of April. It's like unheard of.
Yeah, no, it is. It's very strange, but I feel it's probably just for everyone's mental health and the players wanting to get back out there. And we're only going to do one session a week. You know, we're not going to ask them to come in 3 or 4 times a week. It's just one session. It's a tick over. It's to get some training into their legs, and then we'll have a break sort of start of May, ready for end of June. So it's just nice to get back here and do a little bit of a session.
So it's nice to see some of the squad from last season, but you've got some trialists. Of course, there's no names, but the purpose of getting the trialists in so early?
I just think it's an opportunity to look at people. It's open season, as they say. There's no season left, so it's an opportunity to look at some people. I want to, at the end of June, start of July, go in with the squad that I want to start the season with. I think that's really important. Obviously, there's some targets that are not out there tonight that you want to try and nail down, but they're not going to show their hand. They're going to take time to make a decision. So it's an opportunity to have a look at some trialists, and you never know, 1 or 2 might shock you. So there's more than normal out there, but we've invited them in because we feel it's right to do it now, and it's a lot better doing it now than it would be at the start of July, because sometimes that can take up some of the minutes you need for players that are going to start the season.
So in these strange times, there has been a bit of movement, both on and kind of off the pitch. Starting off the pitch, we've got a new assistant manager. Talk to us about him.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult. Firstly, I'll go on record and thank Eddie Mack for his time, support, effort, his loyalty, which is a very big thing for me. But I just felt it was time for maybe a little different voice, and I think that's really important in football, that you change it up. And me and Cam have been probably best mates now for 15, 20 years. And when I found out he'd come available, we talked regularly, and I knew he was at a stage where 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, he handed his notice at Boreham Wood. And we met up last week for a conversation, and we managed to get a deal over the line. And listen, it's a huge coup for the football club. He's been working in the conference for the last 3 years. So to get someone like him here to believe in the project that we're trying to do is a massive signing for us off the pitch and on the pitch. He's a proper winner, and you know, we've had some proper battles ourselves, and we're close mates. So what you'll get from him is an energy like no other. He'll give it everything. You'll see him on the sideline getting into people. He'll win. He's win at every cost. So he'll do that for us, and I'm really happy to have him here. But also delighted to keep Tom Hart here as well. Who I don't want to go unnoticed, because he was an integral part for us last year, and again he will be this year. And the two of them will work really well together, I've no doubt.
Okay, so we've got somebody in supporting you off the pitch, but on the pitch we're going to have a change in goal this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's only right that we probably announce it ourselves as a football club that Northie won't be staying next year. He's taken an offer up in step 2, which is his decision. Obviously disappointed, but can't thank him enough for giving the opportunity to sign for us. And he's a good lad. He's a top lad. And we had a chat 3 or 4 weeks ago, and everything was good, and he was staying. But unfortunately, the club come in and he couldn't turn down the opportunity, and I can't knock him for that. Listen, I want everyone to try and progress, and I don't believe we see the very best of Northie, but I think the team that have got him will see the very best of him, and he's a top goalkeeper, and I wish him all the very best in what he goes and do, and I thank him for his time and effort for the football club. It won't be a bad word for me about him. He's a very good person, and it gives us an opportunity to make a change, and we'll do that, and I'm excited by that, and whoever comes in will, I'm sure, do a really good job for us.
So I know it's a long way ahead, but have your thoughts gone to pre-season? Have we got any friendlies that we can announce to Hendon fans?
Yeah, we've got a few. We've got Hampton and Richmond are going to come here. We've got obviously our normal one with St Albans, which is always a fiery test, and we'll have our local ones against teams like Olsey and Ware, and I think we get good games out of them guys. It's always hard when you play your St Albans and Hamptons. I'm really looking forward to welcoming Gary back here and having a friendly with them. And we've got one more date spare that we're trying to get a conference side here, but we'll have to see if that comes. If not, we'll get another, hopefully step 2 side to come and test us. And listen, we've had a long time planning it, so it's we're looking forward to it. It's still a long way off. Let's concentrate on the next 4 or 5 weeks here and see that we make sure we come out with a side that I feel can really push on next season.
So Lee, we've spoken about new players and we've spoken about a new assistant manager. The one thing we haven't asked you yet, you've committed yourself to Hendon for the next 2 years.
Yeah, delighted. I have to say, you know, when the chairman approached me a few weeks ago, it was always my intention. I'm happy at the club. I've made no secret of that. But you know, to be shown that faith in the 2-year contract, and I'm happy, and I think that's really important. I've said this before, that I've got an ambition to move forward, but I want to move Hendon forward as well. And you know, a lot of good managers are out of work, and I think that's important. That you know, I've got some security for myself and the family, and the club's got some security, and we can go and enjoy the next 2 years, hopefully, you know, and hopefully it's not like the 18 months I've had so far in terms of the COVID situation, which has been really frustrating for everyone, you know, and I think you can see the club is moving forward on and off the pitch. I think we've got it right, and, you know, we're trying to put things in place that make us more professional again on and off the pitch, and, you know, we've got the GPS vest coming, which I think is going to be a massive bonus to the squad, because...
What's that going to do?
I just think it creates a competition around the players, that, you know, who runs the furthest, who works the hardest, who does their runs in the right areas, who doesn't. And we can go back to it, you know, I look at it, if you've got 10 players that have run 11k and you win 1-0, you know you're doing something right. If you lose 3-0 and your 11 players have run 3k, you know it's something not right there. So it just gives you an idea of who's doing what and why. You know, we can all have opinions on players, and I can say, to me, he didn't work hard enough, and I can go and look at the GPS and see that he's run 12k, but he has worked hard enough. So it just gives you that opportunity to be able to look back at things and maybe not have opinions so quickly. And you know, you might say to me in an interview, I didn't think he worked very hard today, and I can say, well, actually, listen, this is what he has worked. And it creates a great competition. Obviously, with the links at St Albans, I'm seeing what they're doing and the competition they're having with players. They're trying to run as hard as each other now, you know. They want to be at the top of the leaderboard come a Saturday, come a Tuesday, and I think that's important. You know, you can get lazy, but when you've got that, there's no hiding place. And that's really important. I feel that now we need to go in that direction, and it'll be good when we get them in for pre-season.
So Cameron, welcome to Hendon. Some would see your arrival here as maybe a step down from Borehamwood. Talk us through how you managed to get to Silver Jubilee Park.
Obviously I was at Bournemouth, been around first and step for the last 3 years, which I've loved. I've had a brilliant time there. I've learned loads. I've had some great memories. Obviously, we've been in the playoffs twice. But as regards to that, obviously, I've been good friends with Lee for 20 years. We've been through a lot together. He was, funny enough, he was the one that got me into coaching all the years ago when I was sort of hanging around. So yeah, we spoke a lot. Last year at Bournemouth was a little bit tough for me. I was not in the first team picture due to COVID and bubbles and things like that. So I made the decision that it was time for me to step away from the club. So I've been there for 9 years in total, and I loved it. I loved every day of it. But it was a fact I needed a change, needed a sort of change direction, daytime job wise as well. I've set my own academy up for 16 to 18 year olds. So it felt right to leave. And in the moment I started talking to Lee, I know Lee's ambition, I know the football club's ambition, and my ambition, and it all sort of fell into parallel in regards where I want to go and what I want to do. And I can sort of take that knowledge from Bournemouth and work with the gaffer here and hopefully produce a team that plays with energy, that plays with enthusiasm, plays with desire, and hopefully the fans will enjoy it.
You've had a good career yourself. You played at Watford and Peterborough and a high level of non-league football. Talk us through some of your playing career.
Yes, I was an England Youth International and at Watford till I was 19. Wasn't good enough to make the grade, if I'm honest. So I come down to the National League, and I had an okay career in the National League. It was cut short, so I come out of it at 25, 26 to sort of get into coaching nice and early, which was perfect. I got the opportunity to manage Bournemouth reserves at 26, so it was a real good grounding for me. But playing, I got a great playing career, but wasn't as successful as I potentially should have been. So that's I'm using all that drive and that desire within the coaching to make sure that I don't make the same mistake twice.
Lee says that you're quite noisy on the touchline, is that right?
Yeah, so I was a noisy player. Anyone that knows me, I was quite a noisy player, and I am. I'm vocal. I'm very passionate. So when I talk about football, I do talk quite fast. I get excited by it. I love football. It's been my life. It's been brilliant to me. And on the sideline, yeah, I've got a desire to win football matches. I love winning football matches, and I'll find a way of doing that. And hopefully, coming down to Hendon, which has really been exciting for me, we can have a good season. I don't think people will be looking at us as maybe one of the favourites doing it. But what we've got in the camp and what we're looking to speak to, we're very, very excited.
It's a strange one this evening, isn't it? It's saying to Lee, we've got a pre-season on the first pre-season almost is on the 1st of April before pre-season starts properly. There's nearly 30 players running around outside tonight. Good chance to look at people that I guess you don't know any of them out there.
Yeah, no, I know quite a few. So I know the Forbeses. I've worked with them before and been around them before, and I know the type of characters that the Gaffer does here, because I know how the Gaffer works. So I know he would, the characters he's had before, he's done really well. So I've got no doubt about the players that we're looking at. We're looking to bring in. We are trying to find maybe a gem here and there. But we speak every day. We speak 4 or 5 times a day regarding players here and there, and there won't be a stone unturned that we're trying to find that right player. And that's why having these months, like I said, it's a good chance. I look at a few players that might not have been in the plans if you come back in July. So, but yeah, great chance to look at some players. I've done part of the session already, and they look bright. They look sharp. They do look sharp.
Brilliant. Well, have a great time with us. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're successful. Good luck.
Thank you very much.